A very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is the 12th March 2024, Tuesday class. So as usual, we will be continuing our sharing from this book, the wonderful Lotus Flower Sutra. Today, I think we will use the new edition. So after when you see the new edition, you don't get frightened by it, because this is what Chin Hao managed to actually seek their permission to allow us to use. So this one we're not supposed to send out to anybody. So forgive us for not sending it out to you, but you can follow from the Zoom. So you will be able to pin it for you all to follow. So if you want the latest edition or what, maybe later we see how. We try to buy or whatever. We see how it goes. Let us compose our mind, develop the Saddha, Virya, then mindfully we shall commence the Puja chanting. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛，Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛。南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Kamesu Miccācara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Musawada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Sura Meraya Majapamadatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Turn to page 3 of the chanting book, then we shall continue the chanting from Padipa Puja onward. Kanna Sarapaditena Ditena Tamadang Sina Tilokang Dipang Sambuddhang Pujayami Tamonudang Ganda Sambarayutena Dupena Hang Sugang Hina Pujaye Pujaniyang Tang Puja Bhajana Muttamang Vanna Ganda Guno Petang Etang Kusuma Santatin Pujayami Munindasa Siri Pada Sarorohe Pujemi Buddhang Kasumena Nena Punnena Muttena Cha Hotu Mokkang Pupang Milayati Yata Idang Me Kayo Tata Yati Vinasa Bhavang Adivase Tuno Bante Paniyang Parikapitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Muttamang Adivase Tuno Bante Pale Parikapitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Muttamang Adivase Tuno Bante Bojanang Parikapitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Muttamang. Okay, let us chant the Puja Aspiration based on our understanding of the significance of all these Puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses out the fires of all defilements within our hearts. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense, which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami of generosity and the fruit of our karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition as soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the bond-free Nibbana. Making of oral aspiration. By the power of all these merits, born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculty of Saddha, Virya, Samadhi, and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or power. Sharing and transfer of merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, Sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect. Triple jab. Buddhang pujemi. Dhammang pujemi. Sanghang pujemi. Okay, you all can be seated. By now, I believe all Kanyamita or even new people should be able to understand what awareness-based meditation is. As we know, the title is awareness-based, means when we develop this meditation, it is to enable us to develop this inner awareness, which is just a type of attentive mind that is without thought. When you are attentive, silently attentive without thought, that is your true mind in awareness. But human beings' problem is they cannot be without thought, even for a split second, unless they have trained themselves. Unless you have trained yourself to develop the stability of this inner awareness. This inner awareness is a nature within us. That nature is a universal entity that are common to all of humanity, even non-human beings, like all the other living beings. They have this nature behind. But this nature is too subtle, too difficult to detect or to come into contact with. But it was all the while there. That's why in the Mahayana teaching, sometimes they use the word original nature, 本来的面目. Means this was the primordial, original. Before anything arises, that is the first to arise. And that nature is actually also our oneness nature. So to realize this, we need to silence our mind completely until there is no thought. Because from that nature, thought arises. And because of that, living beings fail to comprehend or develop the clear separation of these two minds. The pure awareness before the arising of thought is our true mind, the silent mind, the awareness nature within. But thought can manifest from there very fast, because that is the source where all things arise. And the first thing that comes out of the source is the pure awareness nature. And this is the one that is before the mundane thinking, the mundane thought process, or the mundane mind's creation. And to develop this awareness-based meditation is to go back to this awareness, so that you are not confused by the thought, so that you are not deluded by the thought. So what my nature have taught you all is how to develop it. Of course, there are many ways to develop it. Traditionally, they don't have the understanding. So what they do is, through the thought process, they develop the various skillful means via thought-based meditation. They come out with method, technique, and even object of meditation to anchor this mind, so that this mind doesn't run, doesn't get distracted, so that this mind can be like centered either at the object of meditation, or via the thought they note, or they focus they concentrate. So all these are the various skillful means where a lot of verbalization and thought-based activity are involved. And because of that, they fail to do the true awareness-based meditation to realize the inner awareness. Whereas in Anapanasati, where the Buddha taught, that one is actually not a thought-based meditation. That one is to develop awareness or mindfulness of the in and out breath. Means if you use the object of meditation to anchor your mind to develop mindfulness, then it's okay. Like Anapanasati. Means mindfulness of the in and out breath, not to focus and concentrate. So there is the big difference, and also a very important difference. So understanding this, then we can really appreciate what my nature try to let you all to understand how this awareness-based meditation can be done via using the four support. And this four support is very complete. The first three is only required for normal sainthood way cultivation leading to arahantaship. The fourth support is only required when you go beyond the sainthood way to cultivate the supreme vehicle teaching or the bodhisattva way. So by now, I believe most Kayamita can understand. That's why I start by sharing this under our today's session. So coming back to the four support, the first three is to train your mind not to think, not to be heedless like before. So look at the support and you will understand. We are all the three support to support our awareness-based meditation doesn't involve thinking at all. The first one is relax. To relax, you don't need to think. You just feel soothingly relaxed, body and mind. Just completely at ease, relax. But thought will arise. That's why our second support is to maintain awareness. Whatever arises, aware, finish. Don't try to know, don't try to do, or don't try to arise any verbalization or thinking. Because trying to know and trying to meditate is always by the mundane mind, the activity of thought, unless you have the understanding. When you have the understanding, you don't try. You just maintain awareness. After you relax, you maintain awareness. Because for us as a human being, the only way for us to become conscious is to see clearly the senses. Upon contact of the senses with the external sense data and our consciousness trapped inside, then like the physics experiment where the light bulb just light up. So the lighting up is like it makes you conscious. So because of our six senses, we can become conscious of what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we tactily feel and think. This six type of consciousness can make you conscious of life, can let you know the world, interact with the world. But this process will trigger off the mundane perception leading to all the mundane thinking and activity of mind or reaction to sense experience, thereby creating the movement. We call it the stirring of the mind. The mind reacts to sense experience and just stir. Means it creates the first two mental hindrance or sensual desire and evil. We are like and dislike. When you like something pleasant, it is sensual desire. When you dislike something, it is evil or unpleasant feeling. So all this like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant experience, they are the duality created by our mundane mind. We are habitual thinking. We are our views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system. So all this is what meditation is. To be aware of this is to develop the wisdom, the understanding of how we function as a human being. How we stir our mind and create all this mental hindrance. When you do it so often, it becomes a habit. That's why we call it habitual tendency. When you are so habitual, creating like and dislike means the sensual desire you will throughout the day. These are mind states that the Buddha called mental hindrance. It will hinder your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness to realize your true mind. So how can you develop the ability to meditate, to realize that meditative mind, which is our original mind, before the stirring, before the arising of thought, which is tranquil, peaceful. The inner awareness that is peaceful, tranquil, and still. So to realize that, you must have the spiritual faculty. So knowing this, you will see the beauty in the first two support. When you relax and maintain awareness, you don't think, you don't create duality, you don't arise mental hindrance. So whatever arises at our senses, upon contact, aware, finish. If possible, don't even try to perceive. Because the moment you perceive, through your memory, your brain, your accumulated views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system, that one, especially habitual tendency, they will cause your mind to stir and react, thereby creating more thinking, more emotion. That's how living beings become entangled, become like afflicted. And the Buddha called it Sakayaditi, self-delusion, but the egoic mind that has the ego, personality, is very strong, very difficult to overcome or to see it and awaken to it. And because of that, the arising of the egoic mind, which is the atta or the personality or the ego, that is the one that actually creates the three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. First one is greed, because when you think you exist, when there is this ego, what happens? We will try to own things, possess things, and have things. That's how craving arises. That's how possessiveness arises. That's how greed, desire, all of the evil roots of lobha or greed arise. Then when we cannot get what we want, we get angry, unhappy. Then when we want things our way, we may force it. We are becoming violent and all those things. Then finally is of course the evil roots of Sakayaditi, self-delusion, that condition our fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, and lamentation, our insecurity, our phobia, all this. These are the three evil roots that will manifest. So understanding this, we need to silence the mind via an understanding, The understanding is to use the three support to actually retrospectively reverse the thinking, the habitual thinking and reaction and stirring of mind. So to do that, the first three support is very important. When you relax, you don't think. You don't arise thought, no duality, no sensual desire, no ill will, no craving, nothing. You feel relaxed, body and mind, completely at ease. Then when thought arises upon contact of mind with the senses and also the sense data together with the consciousness trapped inside. Upon contact of these three things with our sense bases, you will trigger of the respective consciousness. So when we become conscious, it can be seeing, conscious of seeing, hearing, smell, taste, tactile, or thought process. Never mind. Whatever it is, when it arises, just aware. This is what maintaining awareness is. Aware. Finish. No need to continue with the thinking. No need to continue with the stirring of the mind, proliferation of the thought process and the emotion. You can do this until it becomes a part of you. Then the third support manifests. The third support is to stabilize the awareness nature. Means, first support relax, then maintain awareness until it's stabilized. So when you can maintain awareness until it's stabilized, means this ability to be aware has become a part of you. Then the thought will naturally cease. So initially, you can actually, through the awareness nature, observe how the thinking, the sankhara activity, before you develop this ability, how it slows down. Everything like slow down, until completely still, no thought, no activity, no reaction of mind, no sankhara activity, nothing. Just aware. That's why I use the word aware, finish. Aware, finish. If you can do that, then you will develop the progress. Then your awareness nature will arise. Then for the first time in your life, you will have that joy, the understanding that there is another mind before the thinking. And that is your true mind. And to realize that is not easy, even for a split second or a moment. But if you can stabilize it as per what I have taught you, then you become very different. Then you can be in that state anytime, anywhere, any place. And that is a free mind, not in concentration, not holding on to any object of meditation, not focusing, not concentrating, nothing. It's not a conditioned state. It's a free mind that is naturally aware without thought. This is what awareness-based meditation is, not what you think. So with this, I will allow you all to develop the training of the mind to be aware. Then for those who have already trained, developed the ability to be aware, have the stability of it already, then what you do is, you just stay at the heart area. The awareness, go to the heart area. Then again, the first three support, relax, maintain awareness, and stabilize it at the heart area. Then you can do the fourth support. Before you stabilize the awareness nature, you cannot do the fourth support where you don't have the ability to stay there. So when you have done that, then when you can stay there and allow the awareness nature, which is your silent mind, the meditative mind, your true mind, to do the meditation. Means no more interference from the thought process, the thinking, the accumulated memory with its views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system. the phobia, the insecurity, the scars of memory, all this, they will not come in and interfere. Means the nature just move by itself. No more thought involved. Then whatever that nature can detect, it can be a heartbeat, or even any vibration around your heart area. Stay with it, be with it. The awareness nature and the phenomena as one. Then observe silently and find out what happened. You will come to realize everything like become very quiet, very still. Even the pounding of the heart or any vibration, they will start to slow down, slow down, slow down, until finally there is like no more movement. Means that vibration that you initially perceive or become aware of, they like no more. It's just like anapanasati. When you do until towards the final stage, the breathing become very subtle, like no more breathing. Very, very subtle. You hardly can detect it. But when you continue to silence your mind and allow it to be, then your mind enters sati. When mind enters sati, your whole nature is in sati, and that mind is very, very different. That one is your true mind in true, stable sati. And that mind that has entered sati is very sensitive. Then the mindfulness that is developed through that become like very, especially, what is the word to use really? That mind become very sensitive in the positive sense. It's like it can detect a lot of things. Then all the movement like magnify. Then you like the awareness and the phenomena as one. Then the subtle breathing, although you think no more, or the subtle heartbeat or what, they start to appear again. Appear again. Then you continue to relax into it. Maintain awareness and don't do anything. Don't try to know, don't do it. And then all of a sudden, if you are patient enough, it will detect the gateway on its own. Of course, initially you will realize that very tranquil state of no thought, completely still, like the shift of consciousness, completely transformed until that nature becomes so clear. Then when you come out of it, you will know what that thing is. Like what I explained to you before. That one is not a being. It cannot come out and live like it's just an awareness nature, that nature. But from that nature, thought arises. You will see very clearly, and how the manifestation of thought keep on arising from there when you are no longer aware there. And because of our senses and what the form and mind is all about, that's why it has the ability to be aware of its movement and activity. Then we come to know clearly what this form and mind is all about, the human being is all about. Then we can understand who are we, what are we, and how we function as a human. So this is what awareness-based meditation is all about. It is to develop self-knowledge, understanding of the form and mind, understanding of that nature, understanding why the Buddha say our mind, which is the mundane mind, is the forerunner of all things, and mind is chief. And when mind arises, all things arise. We are all of creation arise from that nature. We are the mundane mind, the thinking mind. So this whole understanding, they will shine forth. And the one that developed the awareness-based meditation in sati, will understand what this thing is. You can now slowly, mindfully come out of meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peacefulness, inner awareness, and inner mindfulness that you have developed for as long as you can. These are the mind states that you need for you to stay heedful in the midst of life. When you are able to be with inner awareness without thought, that is true mind. So whatever inner awareness, inner mindfulness that you have developed, stability or sati, maintain it. Stay there for as long as you can. And these are the mind states that can help you develop the stability of daily mindfulness, to be mindful and heedful in the midst of life. Okay, now turn to page 6 of the chanting book. We will chant the invocation to the Devas. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in the entirety, let the deities or Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the kings of sages, which gives heaven and release Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalisu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddamang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Sharing Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Sharing Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Sharing Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti peso bhagava arahang sama sambuddho Vijacharana sampanno sugato lokavido Anuttaro purisa dhammasarati satta deva manusanang buddho bhagavati Swakato bhagavata dhammo Sannetiko akaliko ehipaseko opanayiko Pachyatang veditapo vinohiti Supatipano bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ujupatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Nyāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Samicipatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Yadidam cattari purisa yogani Atta purisa pugala Esa bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo Dakineyo anjali karaneyo Anuttarang punyang ketang lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, you can just relax and maintain some form of attention. Then we will continue from where we stop. Like I explained just now before we start, today we are following the new edition, the latest edition, where the English and all the sutta, they have been improved. So we are at this volume 4, chapter 3, a parable. We are at this part of the sutta. I am certain to become a Buddha, revered by God and humans. I shall turn the unsurpassed Dhamma wheel to teach and transform Bodhisattva. So there is this commentary. So the commentary explains what it means when it was mentioned, I am certain to become a Buddha revered by God and human, as well as dragons and spirit, and I shall turn the unsurpassed Dhamma wheel to teach and transform all the great Bodhisattva. Then the Buddhas respond. The Tathagata tells of Sariputta's realization. Then the first part is Sariputta was taught the great vehicle teaching in the past. See, like the previous session, I suspect he must have been told or taught, but then long time ago, when the sasana no more, he forgot. But that thing is still there. So the second part say halfway through, when he was taught, Sariputta forgot the supreme or great vehicle and revert back to adopt to the lesser vehicle. Then the third part, once again Sariputta was taught this great supreme vehicle. Okay, now we go to the sutta. At that time the Buddha said to Sariputta, now amidst the great assembly of gods, humans, samana, brahmanas, and others, I tell you this. So this is where the Sakyamuni Buddha told Sariputta. He said, in the distant past, in the presence of 20,000 coties of Buddhas, for the sake of the unsurpassed path, I constantly taught you. You received my teachings and followed me through the long night, and I have guided you to be born into my Dhamma, using skillful means. Commentary. So commentary here is to explain. The commentary said at that time the Buddha Sakyamuni said to Sariputta, now amidst the great assembly of gods, human, Sramana and Brahmana and others, I tell you this. So the commentary explained. Sramana is the Sanskrit word which means diligent and put to rest, as explained in the verse. So diligently cultivating precepts, samadhi and wisdom means sila, samadhi and panya. Then put to rest the greed, hatred and delusion. Brahmanas are followers of non-Buddhist religion who practice purity of conduct, pure conduct. In the distant past, in the presence of 20,000 coties of Buddha, dating back to the age of Buddha lamp. So this one is a very, very distant past. Then shining with the brightness of the sun and moon. For the sake of the unsurpassed path, I constantly taught you, Sariputta. So the unsurpassed path is defined by 7 aspects. An unsurpassed body, an unsurpassed upholding, an unsurpassed perfection, and unsurpassed wisdom, and unsurpassed inconceivability, and unsurpassed liberation, and unsurpassed practice. Yeah. You receive my teaching and follow me through the long night. Commentaries. Before you understood and awakened, it was as if you are living in a long dark night. You then followed and studied under me as I taught you the Buddha Dhamma, and I have guided you to be born into my Dhamma using skillful means the provisional teaching. Because I have used all kinds of expedient Dhamma to guide you, Sariputta, you have now been born into a time and place where you can learn the Dhamma from me, Sakyamuni Buddha. Then the next part of the sutta says, Sariputta, in the past I taught you to set your resolve on Buddhahood, but you have completely forgotten this. Instead, you claim that you have already attained Nirvana. Commentaries. Sakyamuni Buddha said, Sariputta, in the past I taught you to set your resolve on Buddhahood, means go the supreme vehicle way, but you have completely forgotten this. I taught you to make a great vow to become a Buddha, but Sariputta, you don't have any recollection of the Dhamma door I taught you. This is just like how I taught all of you the Surangama Sutta. But now you have completely forgotten what the Sutta says. Sakyamuni Buddha continued, instead you claim you have already attained Nirvana. You say of yourself that you have already realized the Dhamma door leading to genuine Nirvana. Then the next part of the sutta, once again, Sariputta was taught the great vehicle. So the sutta said, now, wishing to have you recall the practices you once vowed to undertake, for the sake of the Savaka, means sound hearer, I teach this great vehicle teaching, or sutra, entitled The Wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutra, the Dhamma for the teachings of Bodhisattva, and protected and cherished by all Buddhas. Commentary. Sakyamuni Buddha said, now, wishing to have you recall the practices you once vowed to undertake, means I wish to have you remember and ponder the vows you have made in the past, in your past life. Do you remember? Your vow were to protect and support my Dhamma in life after life. See, the word life after life, very important. And to study the Buddha Dhamma under me to realize Buddhahood. You should not be contented with the lesser vehicle Dhamma or the attainment of arahantship. You should not stop here. You should reflect on the vow you made in the past and follow the path to Buddhahood that you intend to cultivate. Then for the sake of the Savaka, I teach this great vehicle sutra, entitled the Wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutra, the Dhamma for teaching of Bodhisattvas, and protected and cherished by all Buddhas. Means, in order to have you recall your past vow and the Buddhahood you aspire to realize, I teach all Savaka, means the sound hearer, this great supreme vehicle sutta. When you study this sutta, all the Buddha throughout the 10 directions will be mindful of you and count to protect you. So this one is a very important reminder. You see, the Bodhisattva way is very strange. Even though it is very long, it may take you eons and eons and eons of cultivation and perfection. But it's really rewarding. Ultimately, it's the supreme vehicle that enables you to understand very extensively We are the cultivation and the perfection. And like I explained to you all before, the difference between the sainthood way and the bodhisattva way is very, very vast. Very, very vast. The sainthood way, they only have a glimpse of what that nature is. They barely touch it. Whereas the supreme vehicle way, which is the bodhisattva way, you need to locate the gateway to your nature. Then after that, you need to continue your cultivation to develop the fourth support to actually transform your inner nature. Until the Bodhi mind develop a lot of understanding, wisdom and transformation within. And that process of transforming the inner nature to realize all the Dhamma understanding and cultivation takes a long, long time. Then after that, your Bodhi mind will transform. Then this Bodhi mind finally, when it open up that nature, it will develop the ability to illuminate that Bodhi nature or Bodhi mind. So Bodhi mind that illuminate our nature as enlightenment is stage 3 of the Bodhi mind development. Or once you reach that stage, you are rest assured. Means you will not fall back. Means this Bodhisattva way is like guaranteed you will complete it. Before that, may not be 100% sure. Maybe certain percentage, but not 100%. But once you hit stage 3, you will not fall. Then as you continue your cultivation and hit stage 4, the Bodhi mind development, where the Bodhi mind understood clearly the nature and the conditioned world and the unconditioned Dhamma, then it becomes very different. It will realize the Bodhi mind that has the ability to renounce samsara. Means samsara is no longer an issue, no longer an issue for the cultivator of the way to develop fear of and all those things. But this Bodhisattva way, if you don't have the what they call format and advice of great beings to guide you, it's not easy. You just look at the sutta. People like Sakyamuni Buddha, when he completed it, then in between he has many disciples, and his foremost disciple, they are all very close to him. Especially Sariputta, who aspired to become his chief disciple, foremost in wisdom. Even Sariputta, based on the sutta, in the distant past, he have heard this teaching before. He has made the vow and determined to cultivate and all things. And yet, after a long period of time, he can forget and go back to the sainthood way. Until the sasana, where there are causes and conditions, then Sakyamuni Buddha actually help them to develop the understanding again and to recall their past vow and lead them out. So this part is a very good reminder. Don't take for granted. Then most people, because of their maybe past influence or what, while they are cultivating this Bodhisattva way or walking the path of Dhamma to start the Bodhisattva way, in between they encounter a lot of difficulty. not easy to endure, to continue with the cultivation and the practices, especially during non-sasana period. Then when there is a chance, they actually make the affirmation to just finish off at the sainthood way, become arahant, finish. Yeah. So a lot of them, they actually were, I wouldn't say trapped, they encounter such problem and issue and end up doing all this. So like I explained, this is the golden window. When you have this golden window, you are able to be born a human. 人生难得今已得 means to be born a human is very rare, and yet you have the condition this life. Then 佛法难闻今已闻 to encounter the true Dhamma is equally rare and difficult, and yet this life you have the condition to encounter them. Yeah. So you should make the determination and develop the faith, then persevere, not to allow this to slip off. Then based on what I have shared with you all through the yellow card, make the affirmation, develop the faith, the sincerity to seriously take the Bodhisattva vow again and remind yourself that this is what you want, and adhithan with all your merits, your blessing, your whatever wholesomeness, for causes and conditions for you to always have the understanding to go this way. Is all the things that I have taught you all the right views, right understanding that you will have whenever you arise, life after life, whether got sasana or no sasana, and every life you come, you renew your this bodhisattva vow. Then you determine to ask for forgiveness, cultivate the repentance. Then after that, continue to develop the cultivation, the perfection, and add in all the additional and miscellaneous vow as you cultivate and progress. Then with this, at least you can plant all the necessary causes and conditions for your bodhi mind to take deep root, so that your nature develop this very strong adhitthana or affirmation to go this way. Then it will pave the way for all your future coming. Means you no need to worry that you will get lost. But to do this, you need a lot of understanding, sincerity, faith, and understanding. Then being sincere is very important. Once you have the faith and you are sincere, you make the affirmation, then determine to have this understanding to walk this path, life after life, until the full completion of this cultivation, just like your Bodhisattva vow, where we actually read following the format of Puja. So the taking of the 4 basic vows, maybe I read to you again so that you can have the faith. So normally we will start off by developing the faith, the sincerity, and very strong intent to go this way. Then we will, in front of the Buddha or the Triple Gem, we will recite. Just as all previous Sugata, the Buddhas, generated the Bodhi mind of enlightenment and accomplished all the stages of the Bodhisattva training, so too will this nature of mind for the sake of living beings, or all living beings, generate the Bodhi mind of enlightenment and accomplish all the stages of the Bodhisattva training, so that the seed of Bodhi can be strongly planted within my nature. Yeah. So this is very important. Then after that, you make your Bodhisattva vow. This nature of mind further vows with utmost sincerity, faith, and perseverance to walk to perfection the Bodhisattva way. We are taking the following initial 4 basic vows of the Bodhisattva. The 4 basic vows are this one. This nature of my vow to liberate the countless living beings from samsara and take them all across to the other shore. This nature of my vows to endure and severe all vexation and suffering. This nature of my vow to cultivate and penetrate all Dhamma, to realize the perfection of wisdom. Then the last Bodhisattva vow. This nature of my vow to perfect the 10 paramitas of perfection, to realize the unsurpassed Sama Sambuddhahood. So this is how you do it. And when you do it with understanding, faith and determination or affirmation, it will really goes into the nature's law. Then your seed of Bodhi can be deeply and strongly planted within your nature. And this will activate by itself whenever you arise, whether you choose to come or you have to come. Okay? Then we continue. The next section is more interesting. Conferring a prediction upon Sariputta. So the outline is conferring a prediction for Sariputta to become a Sama Sambuddha in the distant future. So under the prose, the first section is the time, formative practices, then realization of Buddhahood, the Buddha land, teachings of the Dhamma, name of his aeon, size of the assembly, lifespan, festival of prediction on bodhisattvas destined for Buddhahood in their next lifetime, then the duration of Buddha flower radiance, Dhamma. Okay, we continue. So this part is the time, formative practices and realization of Buddhahood. So these are the first 3. Okay. Sariputta, in a future age after countless, limitless, inconceivable eons have passed, having made offering to several tens of millions of kotis of Buddhas, having reverently upheld the proper Dhamma, and having perfected the path practiced by the Bodhisattva, you shall become a Buddha known as Tathagata, flower radiance, one worthy of offerings, one of right and universal knowledge, one of perfect clarity and conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, unsurpassed one, subduing and regulating hero, teachers of man and God, Buddha and the world honored one. So the name is very beautiful, Tathagata, flower radiant. So this is what was predicted, and his Buddha name will be Tathagata, flower radiance. Okay, commentary. Sariputta, in a future age after countless, you see how long it takes. Even after he has gone through all those, then yet when Sakyamuni Buddha make the declaration of the prediction, it mentioned in a future age after countless, limitless, inconceivable eons have passed, having made offering to several tens of millions of kotis of Buddha, having reverently upheld the proper Dhamma, and having perfected the path practiced by the Bodhisattva, you shall become a Buddha, known as Tathagata, flower radiance. So Sakyamuni Buddha said to Sariputta, I'm going to bestow a prediction upon you. During countless limitless numbers of great aeons which cannot be conceived by the mind, conceived of by the mind or expressed in word, you will make offering to several tens of millions of kotis of Buddha. The exact number of this Buddha is not known. You shall reverently upheld and practice the proper Dhamma, never engaging in erroneous practice. So this word is very important, erroneous practice. Means from there on you will not fall anymore. You will perfect the 6 paramita. This is the Mahayana tradition. Theravada is the 10th perfection. And the mind right practices essential to Bodhisattva. Then finally you shall become a Buddha. Your Buddha name will be Tathagata, flower radiant. Flower refers to the lotus, while radiance signifies the brilliance. You will have the 10 titles common to all Buddhas. The first of which is Tathagata. That's why the word Tathagata is a special title conferred to Sammasambuddha. Then the other 9 is the 9 great virtues. Is given the following interpretation. Oh, sorry, this one is explaining Tathagata. What does Tathagata means? Is given the following interpretation. By following the true path, one attains perfect awakening. One moves forward on the true, down-to-earth path. The path that truly leads to Buddhahood. The path to Buddhahood is real, not an illusion. Moving forward on this true path, one attains the perfect awakening and becomes a Buddha. This is one way to explain. Then the best explanation of the term Tathagata, however, is found in the Diamond Sutta, Vajra Sutta. It said that the Tathagata does not come from anywhere, nor does he go anywhere. That is why he is called the Tathagata. He doesn't come from anywhere, but does not go anywhere. He goes nowhere as well. So he is known as the Tathagata or Taskam. Ta is suchness, thusness or suchness, represents stillness. Agata means come, represents movement. Movement does not obstruct stillness, and stillness does not obstruct movement. Movement itself is stillness, and stillness itself is movement. Movement and stillness are one. Why is movement itself stillness, and stillness itself movements? Why is there movement? Movement appears in contrast to stillness. Why is there stillness? Stillness appears in contrast to movement. Stillness is produced from movement. Movement comes from stillness. This is why movement and stillness are one. They are dual, yet non-dual. Even though they are dual, they are actually one. They are like water and ice. Water is ice, and ice is water. The principle is the same. Therefore, movement does not obstruct stillness, and stillness does not obstruct movement. Stillness at its extreme becomes movement, and movement at its extreme becomes stillness. So all this understanding you can only comprehend when you understand the nature. You know our true nature. Once you cultivate until that nature becomes very clear, then you will realize that thing doesn't move, understand? That thing was just the way it is, originally like that. Then how does movement arise? The arising of the mundane mind created the movement. That's why that movement comes from there. And the movement, when you cultivate and return, it becomes stillness again, tranquility, that nature again. That's why these two, they are not apart from each other. Just like Huineng proclaimed after the fifth patriarch explained to him. Then he proclaimed, how amazing that this nature of ours is already complete by itself. And all Dhamma arise from this nature. So all this understanding will be there once you awaken to your inner awareness nature. And this is what cultivation of the Supreme Vehicle is all about. Okay? We go back to the Sutta. We still have a few more minutes to go. We human beings move around during the day and remain still at night. This one is what Master Hsuan said. I don't think you all remain still. At night a lot of people cannot sleep. And nowadays youth are very active at night. However, in stillness there is movement. And in movement there is stillness. I don't think that is a true statement, because most people can't realize the stillness. Anyway, this is宣化's commentary. During the day, people are generally on the move, but some may choose to sleep. Sleeping is stillness.宣化give the analogy. But actually when you sleep, you don't have a good sleep. You think a lot actually. You are not in stillness. And walking is movement. So this one is maybe a mundane analogy. At night most people sleep, but some don't. That's movement. So this is to put it under mundane analogy. So Tathagata is the first of the 10 titles of the Buddha. And then the next 9 are the one that we chant, salutation to the Buddha. So the next one is worthy of offering. Living beings for their part should make offering to the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. The Buddha for his part is worthy of receiving offerings from gods and men. It is said to every supplication there will be a response. No entreaty will be left unanswered. What is meant by to every supplication there will be a response? Making offering is a form of supplication. For example, those who make offering to the Triple Gem hope to receive blessing and wisdom. Those who seek blessing and wisdom may make offering to the Triple Gem. So this is how we actually cultivate affinity and receive all this response. Example, all the puja offering that we offer to the Triple Gem. Especially Kayamita, you offer a lot of this, you call it the garland, and all our fruits and all those things. And your mind are wholesome. So all these offerings, you may not know is significant until much later, when you are able to go deep into your cultivation, stabilize all your extensive understanding, then all this, you will develop the understanding. That's why do not underestimate all this small thing that cultivator all the way do. When you sincerely pay respect, that itself is very wholesome. There may be no actual materialistic giving or offering, but that respect is a very powerful virtue. Then, like at the retreat, if you all may recall, I say as cultivator of the way, we will understand, gem is everywhere, you remember? Everywhere. You can do wholesomeness. you can develop the cultivation. Because life itself is your greatest teacher. Even rejoicing can give rise to a lot of wholesomeness, meritorious action. And rejoicing is so simple. No need to do anything, just rejoice. Develop the joy. Then listening to Dhamma. Then chant the salutation, paying respect, meditate, share merit, transfer merit. All these are very wholesome. Then wherever you can actually help people, giving of truth and all those things. The gift of truth is the highest gift. So wherever you can help people to receive truth or share your understanding as truth to help people, that itself is great blessing. Then the next one is one of right and universal knowledge. So this right and universal knowledge refer to the understanding that the mind gives rise to, the mind-right phenomena. Universal knowledge refers to the understanding of the mind-right phenomena arising from the mind. So this one is like you understand the mind completely and thoroughly. It is said the Buddha taught all Dhamma in response to the mind of living beings. In the absence of mind, what use would Dhamma be? So this is very true. Okay, we mark this page. We stop here because it's already 9:40 something. Okay, now we'll continue with our second session, which is meditation, reporting, followed by whatever question that you all may have. The question can be anything relating to meditation or the Dhamma, or also how to apply this teaching that you have learned to help you understand life and resolve your life problem. And the third one is based on your cultivation. You can also share whatever Dhamma in daily life that you have encountered or you have realized or gone through, so that other Kayamitta can benefit from it.
Brother, Mr. Steele, Okalimita, 晚上好。
晚上好。
Brother， 我要 share 一个2天前的一个 experience。
Good, Brother。
礼拜天的下午，我在妈妈档吃了吃了那个 lunch 了以后 ，then after that 我就 on the way 要回家的时候，then all of a sudden 我的这个 heart 这边就很 subtle 很 strong 的那个 vibration 很多的 beat，它先从 beat 开始，then 慢慢的我就可以 feel 到它vibrating then 慢慢的它很像。你可以 feel 到它很像一朵花，这样慢慢一直在那边打开来。它那个 vibration 就很像花这样子，一直这样打开，就这样子慢慢的这样打开来。
你感觉得到的在里面flowering。
好，then after 就 after 完了以后 ，then 我就驾车回去，then 我驾到半路的时候，那个前面忽然间有一个 moment 我可以看到那个风这样子吹一下，所以那个地上的那些树叶对 out of sudden 全部这样子站起来，有5-6片来看像一个舞台这样子，那些dancers这样子，那个树叶这样子慢慢整个这样站起来，这样又落下去。
那个是你的 awareness 来的otherwise 你看不到的
等我的头讲，为什么今天的树叶全部会跳舞的？然后我没有去管它。But at night 的时候，因为 at night 我在before 我睡觉的时候，我在 recall，然后我讲，下午那个 moment 很奇怪。我说，因为我是看到那个风，我也很奇怪，我可以 feel 到，我可以 like 你可以 aware 到那个风是 from 那个 right hand side 这样子吹过去。
对 the whole movement become very clear.
啊
because 你那个 awareness is with it 嘛。That's why 啊，他不用去 purposely 看了，那个 awareness 自己啊 and the phenomena is one 啊 that arising and the sustaining and the passing away. There and then your awareness can see means your awareness has transformed and become very, very stable. And then during those moments is for you to see or to awaken one. That's why I remember in the early days, I told you I was driving back. Then along the road, not only the leaf, everything that actually move and float, the characteristics of nature, their movement, their activity, all very clear one, and no words one. Then you realize, hey, how come last time I never see? Now all of a sudden, in that complete stillness and silence, the awareness just pick it up. Then from there, within, something will happen, and it will connect everything and link and develop the very, very deep, profound understanding of the universal characteristic. It will manifest and surface. Very good. Continue.
然后我晚上我就在想，我讲，诶，我看到我可以 aware 到那个风是 from right hand side 这样子blow 过去。But 那些树叶 supposed 就跟着去 move to the left hand side， but all of a sudden 全部站起来。
对，它有它自己的 movement。
啊，它全部站起来。and then 你可以看到有5-6片的那个叶子，就在那个马路的中间。
对。
然后我是在 driving 的 ，but 那个 moment 就全部 stand up 这样子，慢慢的这样子 rise 上来。哦，哇，这很amazing
那个 phenomena that the awareness pick up 不一样的哦 ，and you cannot like under normal circumstances predict their movement. It's not like that. Even sometimes the leaves on the tree I saw their movement is very independent and very strange movement. I witnessed them before. When you are silent, you can see all this. But when you don't have the awareness nature to be in that state of silence, you are lost in thought most of the time. And when you are lost in thought, you're hardly aware of what is going on in life. That's why the observation, the ability to see within nature, you need mindfulness, awareness. And the awareness need to be developed until very stable. Otherwise, all this you cannot understand. But it's good to hear people who has the ability to experience it and realize it and share so that it gives your faith, understand? And all this can trigger a cultivator to actually determine strongly to really strive on with heedfulness to cultivate. Then today also I sent out through the email, I saw what they call Dhammapada verse 21 to 40, the Apamada Vaga. Normally I only share the first 3, verse 21, 22, 23. But you read through the rest, one day we will go through, they are all very beautiful. And it actually describes a lot of great things inside there. So all this is like meant to be. Because while I was going through the unique code 105 which Chui sent to me, then I have started to actually look at the one by Han Chupolian. This time, Chupolian, congratulations. Your transcript was so good. Almost perfect. All the words you got correct. PG help you?
She give me, she go through.
Oh, no wonder. Yeah. But you hear the pronunciation correctly. Means you have the understanding of the Dhamma. Otherwise, like Hans' case, a lot of words got wrong.
The YouTube help a lot.
Oh no, YouTube got give you the format, the base. But the YouTube one, most of it wrong.
Yeah, like phantom like different.
Yeah, most of them are wrong ones. So don't rely on the YouTube, but rely on your own understanding. And it make my editing very simple, very easy. And I saw the thing very easy to read through. And when I read through, I know these are the words that I use, I share, and I say. The one that use the
color actually can delete.
Can. Sui taught me how to delete. He said you go to the choose the color one, choose the no color one. So it become emptiness. It go back to without any, not tinted by anything. So all these are very interesting. But the section before you, I don't know who did the transcript. That one also very good. Oh, Po Cheng. Oh, yeah. Just now Chin Hao mentioned. Part 2 was by Sister Po Cheng. That one is very good. Because before that one, actually, all the good essence was there. Then when it reached Chupolian, also like the summary of the final ending one. That section all very good. So anyway, congratulations, and also thank to Han for trying. So this time you try, make mistake, don't worry, Han. You will learn. You will learn. So you keep your format. Then after you read mine, you compare. Then you go and highlight where your words are wrong. Then you go and read it again. Then you understand. You will not make the same mistake again in the future. But these are your habitual tendency that condition you to do things like that. And to listen also like that. Because these are the conditioning that you are so used to, your habitual tendency. So you will do things like that one. Then you will come to realize in life, human being is just the way it is. Because their habitual tendency, their views, their opinion, their conditioning, they will do things like that, and they repeat and repeat and repeat on. So all these are really very good way for Kayamita to actually develop the understanding. In fact, earlier on, a lot of those who did the transcript shared with me and told me, until before I do the transcript, I didn't know what you were trying to share until I read the transcript. It's just like when you read the transcript book, it's like the Dhamma is very easy, because everything phrased out nicely for you. But when you close the book and try to develop the understanding, unless you have contemplated and developed the what they call cultivation and develop the ability to comprehend and understand, there is no way you can even try to recall or repeat what I say. No way. You may remember the word, no use. You cannot understand. It cannot become a living reality. But once you go through that, you become different. Okay, we continue. Sorry, I interrupted. Yeah. 到哪里了？
就这样子的两个 experience 好，然后过后我就其实我在想，这个mindfulness 哇，真的是很重要很 powerful， 很重要但又很 powerful。如果我们去 stabilize 它
，you need sati mindfulness. That's it. Without that, you are acidic. The heedless acidic, very clear cut one.
其实我最近我发现到，其实我也什么都没有做，但是我每次只要我一安静下来，我有时我去在一些地方我去 restaurant 还是我去到哪里，只要我一个人一静下来，我就可以 feel 到我里面很 subtle 的那个一直在 vibration vibrating
and all the movement and the activity。
对，然后我就开始知道应该是开始慢慢的在 daily 里面 stabilize。
对，
然后我就在想说，有时我就在 recall 说how maybe 我今天要 share 讲。怎样去 start 去 cultivate 那个 sati
that one very important. That's why you realize today my opening instruction very different from normal one. You know, go and listen today one. Today one will make you understand. But today one, I believe most Kayamitta has reached a point to develop the understanding. So I explain it in a very different way. But gist of it is still the same. But today when you listen to it attentively, then you will develop a clear understanding of what the thing. And when you understand it, you realize it's so easy to do. Where I link to all the method technique and all things. Normal human being cannot be aware, understand? Cannot be still, silent, because of mental hindrance. So what they need is, they need to focus, concentrate, note. They need an object of meditation to anchor the mind so that it does not heedlessly run off and get entangled or lost in thought and become emotional through your reactive sense experience. At the moment of sense experience, your views, your opinion, your conditioning, belief system, and also your whatever habitual tendency will condition you to do all those things. Just like what I try to explain to Han to let her see. Once you see all this, you like awaken. And you start to understand how you become what you are. How you develop those wrong views, belief system, conditioning, and all the accumulated negativity of mind state like fear, worry, anxiety, phobia, insecurity, scars of memory, the sorrow, limitation, and all this can trigger off when you live life without you knowing it. And like I explained just now, the habitual tendency of like and dislike, pleasant, unpleasant sense experience, it becomes like so habitual, so rampant. You repeat it throughout the day, and these are mental hindrance of sensual desire. You will. If throughout the day you develop this, how can you meditate? It will hinder your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness. That's why when you see this, you wake up. Why do you have to do all those? These are habitual tendency. You have to straighten your view and retrospectively root it out. And these are all wrong thoughts. Why do you want to eat? Why do you allow it to manifest? That's why you have to straighten your view. Keep on transforming from within through the silent mind is sati, awareness, to observe all this and see and how it conditions you into negativity, fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, and lamentation. It's all your accumulated wrong view, sakkayaditi, egoic mind that trigger of all this due to lack of understanding. So able to observe and awaken to all this is awareness-based meditation. This is self-knowledge. This is how you come to know yourself. If that is what is happening, what must you do? You must straighten your view and reverse all this, then cultivate a spiritual faculty instead of all this wrong thought or habitual tendency. So all this will make a big difference to your cultivation. Then you will understand clearly what I mean by relax, maintain awareness. But most people cannot maintain awareness, but they think a lot. The mental hindrances are there. Then they cannot decondition their heedless thinking. Well, during the day, they are most of the time heedless. They think a lot. And they react to sense experience so rampantly until throughout the day, their sankhara activity is like non-stop. A lot inside there. And when you try to meditate, how? That's why they say the mind is so restless. They want to develop the peace within, they can't. They want to have a quiet mind, they can't. They want to realize that tranquility, the stillness, they can't. But cultivator of the way who has the understanding is very simple. The moment you relax, the awareness will be there. But if you cannot relax, the thought will be there. So all this will let you understand why the four support, especially the first three for the Sinhu way, is enough. Transform you. Then later on, when you go to the fourth support, you become so different. So remember, listen to the first, I think, 20 minutes, about 20 minutes of instruction today on. Very good. Yeah. Yeah, song, sorry.
当我们要 cultivate 这个 mindfulness 的时候，我们一定要很清楚的知道什么是 sati。
sati。
所以一定要很清楚的去知道。所以说上次我一直在 repeating 的，一直在看那个 appendix 3。
那个哈苏达后面。
对，你的每一个 sentence 你一定要很清楚，为什么那个 Krishnamurti 的那个quote 他会这样子的 mention。
是咯。
你要去，我们要。words by words 的去读，然后去 contemplate， 去 understand it。然后就去cultivate。说 brother 以前你是有跟我们讲说要用我们有几种方法去 anchor 我们的 mind。
对。
就是做 bowing。bowing 是最 effective 的。
walking。
bowing 跟 walking 是最 effective 的，因为刚开始不容易 relax， 所以先从 bowing。所以你是 bow， 然后再加上你的 understanding， 你会慢慢的去了解，什么是那个这个 sati。
Because the mind once it enters sati, you will know one. The form of mind that develop it, you will know what that sati is. Not through the concept, the knowledge or the word. It's when sati manifests. Body and mind as one, then the form and mind that go through it will understand. Without that, you cannot understand. Then you realize, hey, when I am aware, there is no thought. Then that thing is very natural. It's not a separate mind perceive or do things. It's just the awareness nature and the phenomena move as one. Means what? Synchrony, harmony, understand? There is no separation. Means you are with the awareness. Otherwise, it cannot be like that. You are with the thought, the floating a lot. Labor, perceive, react, stir. That activity is heedless living. The other activity is mindful, heedful living. Once you understand the big difference, you will move away from the heedless way of living life. You will develop the understanding that this is beautiful, then you will determine, continue to train. That's why I say the daily religious routine, you will continue to do until sati comes, until mind enters sati. Then when mind enters sati, everything you do is in sati. All your seeing, hearing, smell, taste, tactile, and thought process, everything is in sati. Because that mind that is in sati become aware, no longer think and do all those funny things. You want to know, you can know. You want to perceive, you can perceive. You want to contemplate, reflect, think, you can. And if you want to share, you can. But most of the time, it is quiet, peaceful, just aware. That's why whatever that moves by, passes by, or arises within your senses, the awareness straight away pick up. And the awareness and the phenomena move as one. Just like just now the definition, Tathagata. The Buddha is an expert in tatata, suchness. Then all phenomena is mentioned in the sutta. The Buddha developed complete understanding. Means if you are not mindful, how can you see all this? How can you understand all this? Their universal characteristic, their nature, how they arise and how they pass away, the law of paticca samuppada or dependent origination and all things. So seeing all this and awakening to it to straighten your view is the real cultivation, awareness base. Not learning all the theory by heart, memorizing all the Dhamma knowledge, thinking that when you know all this, how to answer, you have the Dhamma. No, that one is knowledge, thought based, not awareness based. The awareness based, the awaken to all this is so different. Very good. Very good sharing. Bowing, walking, then how to develop the mindfulness first through reading the appendix 3. And how? That's how he actually progressed. Because after what Mahacham, I remember, he was reading that appendix 3 there. And he came back. He continued to actually attentively listen and develop the what they call understanding by constantly contemplating and reflecting on what the appendix 3 sharing is all about. And especially J. Krishnamurti quote, that one was very good. You continue, huh? So.
其实刚开始 focus on 那个先，
对，
我们要先把那个sati 做到了以后，你其他的就会慢慢跟着来，
跟着来的
啊。所以先去 focus on 什么是 sati， 然后怎样的去 cultivate， 这个才是最重要。
对。
然后当你去 cultivate 的时候，你去讲里面很多那些 quote 他为什么会这样子讲？为什么他讲不要用 talk？你一做，当你一 determine 的时候又是 talk， 当你要 practice 的时候又是 talk，
对
，but brother 每次讲你要determine 的去 cultivate， 但为什么那个是什么 meaning？ 你要去 understand。如果你不能够了解，真的是其实整个的 sati deal 的只是那个满天麦罢了。
对，
你只要去 understand 那个 talk 的 characteristic。你去 understand
the movement from that nature 看清清楚楚 then you realize 那个不起什么都没有的。
对
That's why I ask you that question, the Kongan, without thought, who are you? You have to be in the awareness nature to understand, because that movement from that nature is so fast and so clear. When you have the ability to stabilize the awareness nature, then you realize when you are there without thought, no egoic mind, no duality, nothing. That one is just that nature, no name, no word, cannot come out and live like it's not a being. Then you realize you are nothing, you are nobody. Without the thought, who are you? You are nothing, you are nobody. The form and mind is just a condition, karmically conditioned out for you to come, the vehicle and tool. So you will understand all this, you will see all this very clearly. Then you realize, hey, the existential world is not what you think. It's the phenomenal world of consciousness and form. Mind make our day. That's why we learn to see form, the unreality of form. Then we see beyond form. Then we apply the same thing to mind, where we also can see mind, the unreality of mind, and see beyond mind. Then we saw our nature. Means that nature is aware that there is a nature inside there. And when you have the ability to be aware there, you are that oneness. You are that original nature, true nature, or sometimes they call it the Buddha nature. That one got no duality, no word, no delusion, nothing. So there is no difference, understand? So no need to divide anymore. Once you are there, that is the nature that can see, that can insight into phenomena and awaken. That is what wisdom is all about. And when that one is being realized, then it becomes connected to the form and mind. That nature, wisdom, through the direct seeing and the awakening that you develop, that wisdom is connected to this form and mind, because from that nature it arises. And you can only access that nature when you have a form and mind. Without the form and mind, you cannot access the nature. That's why to calm, you need a form and mind through the karmic process. Then with the karmic process, you have to meditate to realize that true mind, that silent mind, that awareness. That's why meditation becomes like not easy in that sense. But when you understand the whole thing, it's actually very easy. Easy in the sense that you must have faith, you must be sincere, and you must diligently cultivate. Understand? It's not that difficult. I used to say that word in the early day. I don't know whether you recall. It's easier than learning how to ride a bicycle. If you really understand, you ride a bicycle, every time you fall, initially. To develop the balance also not easy. To me, that is more difficult than to learn how to be in the state of sati. To be in the state of sati, I just relax and maintain awareness, and I already in that state. Then I walk, I stand, I bow, I do anything, I'm in that state. But to balance that bicycle, I tell you, you need to train. That one is like training to be skillful. Means to develop mindfulness to be able to be very skillful. That one you train. So understanding all this is what cultivation is all about. Then you realize the whole understanding of cultivation is now so different than what was commonly perceived. Understand? Or the Buddhist community that is so used to it, or the thought-based approach, knowledge-based approach that actually doesn't lead to awakening. That's why they came to one realization. Nowadays, less and less enlightened being. If it's still the correct teaching and the correct understanding, that's why I say the teaching definitely is correct, but the correct understanding of the teaching is very important. If it's still there, like the scientists, once they have breakthrough, they progress very fast. There should be more and more enlightened beings. How come we are not seeing it happening? Unless there is something not right about the understanding behind the cultivation. So now this approach, which is awareness-based, is totally different, revolutionary. And it's not introduced by me. It's lack of understanding. The Buddha has already taught mindfulness leading to heedfulness, and that is what awareness is. But like Song say, people don't understand what mindfulness is, what heedfulness is. And it's all in Dhammapada 21, Dhammapada verse 21, 22, 23. Very clear. And when you don't understand that, then people go and discuss in the retreat and also write in the book, aware of what? Then who is aware? All this means you don't understand. Aware of what means you think. To be aware is to perceive. Understand? When you perceive something means you are aware. No, when you perceive, you are lost in thought. You are not aware anymore. To be aware is without thought, the awareness and the thing as one, like the baby, the direct seeing. Understand? So totally different. That's why I define for you what sati is. Sati is an awareness before the knowing. Once I put in the word before the knowing means the silent mind. Understand? The silent mind without thought is naturally aware, but that is your true mind. It was there before the arising of thought. But the moment the thought arises, you are lost in thought. Understand? Then how can you be aware? Man can only do one thing at a time. Either you are aware without thought to be aware of what is going on within the moment, or you are lost in thought. Preoccupied with all your thinking, your emotion, your stirring of the mind and all those things. And that is heedless living. But they cannot see. Well, their only instrument that they are familiar with is the thought. And the thought trying to recall all the things that they do. And they think that is awareness. No. When they say, I aware, I still got anger. Means what? Means the anger that time arise, they are not aware. They are not with it. But they recall through memory. Yala, I reacted. I still angry. Then they say, after cultivating so long, I still got anger. I still have fear. Why the delusion? Because they never develop the awareness to see. Like I always explain to Song, and Song understand. Anger was not you. Fear was not you. If they are you, when they pass away, you should die, isn't it? How come you didn't die? If you didn't die, then why did they arise in you? How did they arise? Like the Buddha said, trace the origination factor. Before anger arise, there was no anger. How did it arise? Through your senses, understand? When you see something you don't like, when you hear something you don't like, or you recall phobia, or through memory, the scars of memory and whatever. And then you realize that emotion arise. Means anger or fear, they are dependent, originating from your thought. Where you straighten your view, all this ceases to be. When you know it's not you, why are you going to worry about anger and fear? They are mind states that are dependent, originating due to wrong view. So retrospectively reverse it means what? You must develop the wisdom, like the Buddha taught, to see things as they are, not according to your memory with all the views, opinion, and conditioning to perceive people with negativity, to react and stir and all. If you can accept them for what they are, see them for what they are, or see things as they are, means what? They are just the way they are. No right, no wrong. Deluded people do deluded things. Angry people do angry things. Selfish people do selfish things. Why you want to label them as wrong, right, negative, or what? No, they are just the way they are. And then you realize you can accept them. The world is the world. Condition like that, things. This is what the Buddha shared with us. It's our wisdom. So when you reflect and contemplate and realize this one can help you free and be at peace with every moment of sense experience, that is what Yoniso Manasikara is all about. Right understanding. You have straightened your view. Then he know you, he know me. Sankhara anicca, sankhara dukkha, dhamma anatta. Then you won't waste your time on the thought process anymore, on all the sankhara activity and emotion. So this one are very important understanding. Today one is very good. Yeah, sorry.
其实mindfulness 讲的就是两个罢了，就是要去 cultivate 要去 stabilize， 还有去 understand 什么是 silent 那个 silent， 还有一个就是relax。所以只要所以为什么那个 understanding 非常的重要，尤其去 understand 这个thought。这个是通常这个是我过后当我去 daily 的时候，我就会 involve 在 Bradil 听很多 Bradil 你的那个 Dhamma Sharing，especially 你在讲那个五蕴 five aggregate of form and mind，那两个 aspect，一直要去听去 understand，不要去管它，每天一直去 develop 那个habitual， 要去listen to this Dharma， 一直听。当有一天忽然间你会你会整个人突然间你会很像明白
，like awaken to it， 哇，一路来就是这样哦。为什么以前悟不到，现在悟得到？It because the stability or understanding has surfaced. That's why he can understand all this. And his main progress is the sati came after what macam, after the chanting, the whatever chanting. I think the Sanskrit one, so Hsuan,
But Bradil 我是这几个月我觉得我的 understanding 会不一样，就是当这个 silent mind 开始 silent 了以后，我看到了很多的一些这种我 go through 的这些 experience， 让我去了解了这些 Buddha Dharma。最重要for example， 我在马拉克跟我的 cousin 吃饭的时候，当我一看到那个 thought arise 的时候，过后我就明白了，你的满电脉不 arise 的时候，你的上面是空的，是 silent 的，空的。但是当这个满电脉一 arise 的时候 ，content 就进来了，对，这个 word 就开始了，对 ，Dharma 就全部开始，对，from 那个 experience 我就明白这一个，再加上然后再加上 Bradil 你们每天我一直在听你的 Aspirations 了以后，那个 understanding 开始慢慢的去 stabilize 的时候，我懂的东西好像越来越不一样，越来越不一样了。
因为你的 understanding stabilize then once it stabilize it will allow you to understand at another level. That's why 你现在可以 share whatever you go through to help Kayamita. Yes, these are the phases of transformation that cultivator will have to go through. Like I always explain to you, those who do this awareness-based one, you will follow the same progress on. You can have different what they call condition on the past or what, but finally, when you really progress, just like the new book I think that is coming, I think Han did the transcript one. The real progress or the real success in your awareness-based meditation to progress is when you have stabilized the awareness nature. 我 explain 在那边。That's why today 我读到我 go through 它的 transcript. That is the true one. Once you hit the awareness nature inside and stabilize and understand what this, then you understand what song understand. The mundane mind arises from there. And when the mundane mind arises from there, it's like the Buddha mentioned, mind is the forerunner of all things, mind is chief. Then the Mahayana stanza, 一切一切唯心造 means created by the mind, by the thought. Means everything that manifests from the mundane mind is 心造成的, you understand? 一切一切唯心造 means mind make our day, understand? When mind arises, all things arise. But this is a creation process. From that nature, the first thing that come out is the pure awareness, the four circle formation, remember? Then from the awareness, the next one to manifest is what? The mundane mind, understand? Then the mundane mind, with its physical body, with its senses, the two aspects of the form and mind, it triggers off consciousness. You can become conscious. Conscious of what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you feel and think. And that is what illusion is all about. Because consciousness is the greatest magician, the Buddha explained. So, magician is an illusionist, create illusion for you to see. That's why the phenomenal world of consciousness is where all the great illusions are. And this is where everything happens within the conditioned world. All the chaotic argument, war, division, and all the what they call violent or whatever manifestation of mind, they all happen there. And without mindfulness, without awareness, you cannot understand. You cannot cope. You cannot even know what all this is, because you are always trapped in the phenomenal world, trying to compete, strive, trying to fight and do all those things, believing that that's what life is all about. They say survival. That you want to have the good life, you want to live life. Then, without Dhamma knowledge, how can you achieve that? You through your mental, your will, W-I-L-L, through your willpower, your determination, you actually go all out. Whether moral or immoral, you don't care. Understand? You just want to succeed or become famous and do all those things. So once you see all this in the awareness-based meditation, then you become different. Without thought, he know you, he know me. Understand? And all this is a delusion created by thought. And what is thought? It's a manifestation. Thought is consciousness, basically no reality. That's why it's just a mental image, understand? With its content inside. And it's just the energy arise and pass away. They come and they go. That's why 往事只能回味. Everything that you come to experience, you can only recall through memory. Once the memory is gone, you don't exist. Your entity erased. He know you, he know me. And all this, you must develop the mindfulness to see clearly and develop the awareness to awaken. That's why when the thought realizes itself and cease, that is what enlightenment is, Nibbana. Very good. I let Song summarize.
Through the understanding 以外，我们一定要 maintain 那个，我们一定要有那个 faith 那个 sincerity 跟 perseverance 一直去cultivate 以前我每次在 cultivate， 我就跟我自己讲，我在跟我自己讲，我跟我自己讲，那个 thought，either 你死，不是你死就是我死，instead of 我死，要 better 你去死，so 我要你死，那么我就要去 cultivate， 好，但是我 go all the way out， 我是 try，刚开始真的是不容易，真的不容易真的不容易，把你怎样的去turn over它，对，慢慢来，可以的，with 我们 Gayamita with 我们现在的 understanding， with 我们现在的 conditions， with 我们种种的 sharing， 我们的 material everything 已经 prepare 了，只是看我们要不要determine， 要不要有那个 faith 的去strike 它，所以只要我们很有 faith 很 sincere 的 perseverant 的去 cultivate， 一定会来的，一定会来。
Sadhu, very good. Thank you so much, Song, for the good sharing and also creating all the conditions for all this Dhamma to arise. So let us rejoice one more time before we share the merits and transfer the merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us do the closing puja. Akasata ca mumata devanaga mahindika punyang tang anumoditwa cirang rakantu lokasasana etta wata camehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo devo satukalina sasa sampati hetocha Vito bhavatu loko ca raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamena mame bala samagamo sattang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect Triple Gem, especially Sakyamuni Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we will end the whole Zoom session. Sadhu.